What's up, family and friends? Thanks for tuning in today. Parents, so glad you're here. I got the whiteboard behind me and we're going to learn together. I'm excited about it. But can I just go ahead and give you a caveat? You don't need to email me. You don't need to post an ugly comment in the section underneath the blog. I know I have bad handwriting, okay? I get it. And I'm nervous because not only am I writing on a board, but I'm writing while you're watching. And so that I get it. I know it's hard to read. I know that as a parent, I should probably let my 5-year-old daughter write on the board because her handwriting would be better than mine. I get it. So forgive me, all right? Look beyond it. I want to talk about a pitfall today, a problem that a lot of parents encounter. And the good news is I believe this problem is totally avoidable. Okay, a lot of parents struggle with it, but I think if we work hard at it, I'm going to give you a way that you can work on it today and work on it for the rest of your life. If you work on it, I think you can totally avoid this pitfall, this problem that most parents encounter. This is the problem of staying connected with your kids. And I'm not talking about just a physical connection, like your kids are stuck to your hip and you're a helicopter parent. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real connection, not just a physical connection, but a relational connection, an emotional connection, a spiritual connection with your kids. See, as parents, we want to continue to leverage our influence in the life of our kids, and our influence decreases as our connection decreases. So I want to talk about that today. But to make you feel better, let me just go ahead and ease the pain a little bit. Jesus's parents actually struggled with connection. Remember back in Scripture when Jesus, as a young boy, about 12 years old, was found in the temple talking with the priests and the Bible scholars of the day. Remember that? Well, you remember how he got there? His parents lost him. Literally lost him. It said they hadn't seen him for 3 days. And they were asking, where is Jesus? What happened? What's going on here? Can you imagine losing your kid for 3 days? And then you don't even realize you lost him until the 3rd day? How did that happen? Who dropped the ball? Come on, Mary, Joseph, the babysitter. Who was watching Jesus? It's so easy to become disconnected. Even Jesus's family struggled with it. I guess it didn't scar Jesus too much. He ended up growing up and living a great life. But we have that problem, being disconnected on so many levels. Luke 2:52 begins to describe as Jesus matured from a young boy, an adolescent, to an adult. Scripture says that he grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with both God and man. To grow in favor with your kids and to help your kids grow in favor with God and man, it's going to take a specific connection. So I want to talk about it today, and I'm going to write it on the whiteboard just to get the conversation going. 7 different things that I think you can do to connect with your kids. Now, here's the problem, though. You can master these 7 things today, and in a year from now, they'll be completely irrelevant. You have to continue to change in the ways that you connect with your kids. And here's why. Because your kids change and you change. I mean, think about this. If you're a 25-year-old parent and you have a 2-year-old daughter, what do you have in common with that 2-year-old? Not a lot. Not a lot of natural connection points. Fast forward 10 years. Now your daughter's 12 years old and you're 35. You're in the middle of your career. You're climbing the ladder and making progress and success. Meanwhile, your 12-year-old is getting ready to hit puberty. Not a lot in common. Fast forward another decade. Your 12-year-old is now a 22-year-old entering into the world of being an adult, jumping in head first. And what are you doing? Possibly going through a midlife crisis at 45 years old, trying to define what your life is all about. It is so hard to connect. And again, I'm not talking about just a physical connection where I get it. It's hard for our family to be around the table together and enjoy dinner every night, every week. And that's just a 30-minute block that we could possibly schedule. I'm talking about a relational and an emotional and a spiritual connection. Let's talk about it. I'd love to be able to learn together. If you have your notebook out, pull it out and jot these things down and let's learn together. There is a difference. I want to give you a reminder. As I talk about being connected, really fully engaged and connected with your kids, there is a difference between the world revolving around your kids, your world revolving around your kids. There's a difference between that and your family being the most important thing in your world, second only to God. I'm not saying your world has to revolve around them. I'm not saying they have to be connected to your hip in order to be establishing a great connection with your family. Let me go into the 7 and tell you what I'm talking about. Again, the hard part of this is it'll constantly change. So for everyone in the room, you're going to think about this and relate and answer these questions in a different way based on the age and the stage of your kids. You ready? Let me write out the first word. I'm going to try to write it out neatly, okay? Here's the first word. First thing you can do with your kids around this idea of connect, right? I'm going to use the letter of every word in the word connect. So the first one is clean the slate. Clean the slate. This is something that you can do every week in your life and also the life of your child. There's going to be some times where you need to clean the slate with your kid. They have said something, they have done something, they have disrespected you, they have lied to you, they've done something against you. And if you're not careful to clean the slate, to offer forgiveness, and to move forward together, you will harbor bitterness in your life and it will change the connection that you have with your kids. It'll break that connection if you allow that anger and bitterness to take root and begin to create a distance. And so, as a parent, I know your kids make mistakes. I know there's problems, but we have to learn on a regular basis how to clean the slate. We also have to know how to teach our kids to clean the slate, giving them an opportunity to come clean, to confess, to admit things, giving them a safe environment to do that so that they can be honest with us and know that if they do confess something and clean the slate to us, that we're not going to just completely blow our lids. It's important for us to model that culture of safety with our kids so that they will always be honest with us. So be sure sometime during the week to spend some time cleaning the slate in your life and in their life. Second one is this in Connect. Open your eyes. I want you to open your eyes to their world. As adults, our eyes are always wide open to our world, our wants, our desires, our needs, our goals, our plans, our future. But how often do we focus on their world, what they're going through, what they are facing, the problems, the fears, the goals, the entertainment, what their interests are? How often are you doing that? I want to challenge you, if you want to connect with your kids, open your eyes to their world. Here's a problem that sometimes parents have. We want our kids to be interested in our world, our interests. Whatever we like to do, we're going to drag our kids along to it and say, I want you to like what I like so that we can like it together. Sometimes that just doesn't work. Sometimes we have to focus and open our eyes to their world. Every time a dad takes his son outside and throws baseball in the front yard, you're connecting and opening your eyes to their world. Every time a dad sits down and has a tea party or does hair and makeup and fingernail polish with his girls, you are connecting with their world. What are the ways that you are opening your eyes and connecting with your kids? When your kid is growing up, 2 or 3 years old, you're on the floor building Legos. I don't want to build Legos. There's a lot of other things I could be doing at that moment, but this is an opportunity for me to open my eyes to their world and what they like to do and to participate in it. What's going on at their school? What's going on social media? What's going on in the entertainment industry that they are interested in, they are focused in? Take a minute and open your eyes to their world. Now, let me tell you the toughest part of this. As a parent, opening your eyes to their world means you have to, at least briefly, close your eyes to your world. You have to stop focusing on what you want and what you love and what you desire. And I think this is an incredible sacrifice that parents have to choose. It might be the most beneficial way of connecting with your kids for you to close your eyes on your world, just briefly, to open your eyes to their world. Try it out. First of all, we clean the slate. Second of all, we open our eyes to their world. Third thing is this, in the word connect. I want you to really try this week to notice their progress. Right? Notice the progress in the life of your kids. This does two things. It not only for you, it provides a sense of encouragement because you see them growing, you see them becoming more mature, you see them reaching milestones, which are great. You know, we want to celebrate milestones. Think about when your kid learned to walk, or when they learned to say their first word, or eat solid foods, or like the first day of school. We like to celebrate those things. But when you notice the progress of your kids, it also gives you an opportunity to speak encouragement over them. You're doing great. You're growing. You're getting so much better. You're so much better than when you tried it last week. You're making progress. Congratulations. That's great. You're pulling up your grades. You're learning how to hit the ball. You're doing a great job keeping your room clean or taking care of the house pet. Notice their progress, and they will see that you see them, and it'll establish a connection. They know that you notice what they're doing, and that's a great way to stay connected to your kids, to avoid being disconnected. Sometimes we can become disconnected and we don't even know what our kids are doing, how they're progressing, if they're going up or down, good or bad, what's going on. Stay connected by noticing their progress. Here's number 4. I know this is hard. The second N in connect: neglect the small stuff. Man, I'm bad at this. There are a lot of things that we could pick apart about our kids, what they say, what they do, how they carry themselves, what they don't do. But you know, a lot of the things that we nitpick over are small things. And I'm having to learn as a parent, one of the best ways to connect with my kids is to make sure that I'm not wasting my time with the small stuff, the insignificant things that don't matter. Maybe correcting them or disciplining on those things that in the grand scheme of things really don't matter. If you want to stay connected with your kids, don't beat them up over the small things. It'll create a divide between you to when a big thing happens, there's been such a divide created that they're not interested in listening to your influence and your voice now. So avoid getting stuck in the small things. Ask yourself, is this a hill I want to die on? Is this a fight that I want to be willing to fight? Is this something that I really want to take a stand on? And I think if you ask yourself that question, a lot of times the answer will be no. It's things that we can move past and choose to focus on the big things and just neglect the small things. Fifth thing is this, as we talk about E, I want you to learn as a parent how to express your love in their language. This is crucial. I don't know if you've ever read the book, The 5 Love Languages, but every single person receives love and gives love a different way. Did you know your kids are just like that? There's a certain way that your kids feel loved. And as a parent, you need to know that. Because the way that you feel love, or the way that you like to show love to other people, may not be a way that they feel loved. There's love categories of physical touch, quality time, acts of service, giving gifts. There's 5 of them that, again, you might have one. There might be one that you love to receive, but your kid may be different. So you need to learn how your kid receives love, how they feel loved, how they feel honored and cherished and appreciated. All of those things, if you don't learn those things, then you may be in your mind thinking, I'm killing it in the love category. Like, of course I love my kid, and of course my kid knows I love my kid. But they may be sitting there wondering, does mom even love me? Does dad even know what I care about and what I like? Figure out what your kid's love language is and express your love through that language. I don't know any parent that says, I don't care about my kid feeling love from their parents. So learn it. Learn their love language. Write that down and express love in that way. Here's the next to the last one, the C, the last C in connect. I want to challenge you as parents, in your family, create memories. Create memories. Now, here's the problem with that. Creating memories takes time. It takes time planning. It takes time executing. It takes time saving up for maybe, thinking it through. My grandparents or my kids' grandparents on both sides kind of have this mentality that we are less interested in buying gifts and giving them things and more interested in creating memories. Creating memories would be taking them on a trip to the beach. It would be inviting them over for the weekend for a spend the night party at grandma and grandpa's house. It's cooking together in the home. It's not just spending money on gifts or giving them something. It's allowing your kids to create a memory that they will remember for the rest of their life. Do you know your kids will never remember the first cell phone you buy them? I don't remember the first cell phone my parents bought me. But I remember the times where my parents created memories for me, and I'll never forget those. That connection lasts in the moment and will last for the rest of my life. So instead of just always buying gifts or giving them something new, create a memory, and you'll connect with them not only today, but for the length of time that they remember that memory. It'll always be a connection point. Last thing is this. This can be hard because of the age difference. I want you to talk with your kids. Talk with your kids. And I know what you're thinking. What do we have in common? What are we going to talk about? Like, are we going to talk about what happened in the office today? Whenever I talk to my kids, I always ask them, how did school go? Fine. Anything exciting happen? No. It's always one-word answers. One of the ways that you can connect with your kids is to get better at a conversation with them. And it really builds on the other 6 things above. Find out their love language. Find out how you can connect with them, what they really like and what they desire. Create that opportunity to offer a clean slate every week. Talk about the progress that they've made. Pat them on the back. Get away from the small stuff and just focus on the big things. All of these things will help you in your conversations with your kids. Remember, as parents, we want our kids to grow in favor with God and man. We want to use our influence in their life today and for the rest of their life. And the way we do that is to avoid this pitfall of becoming disconnected with our kids, where the gap grows and grows and grows to the point where we don't even feel like we're connected. We don't even feel like we're together. We don't even feel like we have that influence anymore over our kids, and the respect is gone.